If you think breaking the law today is dangerous, imagine living in a time where one small mistake could end your life. No warning, no second chance, no appeal, just one wrong step, and death was immediate. History doesn't talk about these laws often, but if you were born under them, survival depended on silence and obedience. These were ancient laws that could get you killed instantly. Ellipsis. In many ancient societies, laws weren't written to protect people. They were written to control them. Justice wasn't about fairness. It was about fear. In some civilizations, stealing food wasn't considered desperation. It was considered defiance. Even during famines, when hunger was everywhere, stealing a single piece of bread could mean execution. The law didn't care why you stole. It only cared that you did. And punishment was public, not to correct you, but to warn everyone else. Ellipsis. In ancient Rome, speaking against authority wasn't freedom of speech. It was a death sentence. Criticizing a ruler, questioning a decision, or even spreading the wrong idea, was seen as a threat to order. You didn't need proof. You didn't need witnesses. An accusation was enough. If you were born into this system, silence wasn't weakness. Silence was survival. Ellipsis. Some laws were even worse. In parts of the ancient world, simply being born into the wrong family or the wrong class meant your life was worth less. Certain people had no legal protection at all. If they were accused, they couldn't defend themselves. If they were punished, no one questioned it. Your fate was decided before you ever spoke your first word. Ellipsis. And then there were laws that punished accidents. Imagine this. You damage property by mistake. You injure someone unintentionally. You were involved in something you never planned. Today, that's an accident. Back then, it was a crime worthy of death. Intent didn't matter. Context didn't matter. The law saw only the result. And the result was final. Ellipsis. Now pause for a moment. Think about how many mistakes people make every day. A wrong word, a wrong step, a wrong decision. In ancient times, any one of those could end everything. If you find these forgotten stories disturbing, this is exactly what Dark Origins explores. If you haven't already, subscribe to Dark Origins, because history is far darker than we're ever taught. Ellipsis. Some ancient laws were designed to make examples. Entire communities would gather to watch punishments. Not because they were cruel people, but because fear was the system. The law wasn't hidden in books. It was displayed in bloodless silence and unforgettable consequences. People learned quickly, obey, or disappear. Ellipsis. What makes these laws terrifying isn't just how harsh they were. It's how normal they felt to the people living under them. Children grew up watching punishment. Adults accepted it as order. When something lasts long enough, even injustice begins to feel natural. Ellipsis. History often glorifies ancient civilizations, their architecture, their intelligence, their power, but it rarely talks about the cost. The cost paid by ordinary people, who lived under laws that offered no mercy. If you were born in those times, survival wasn't about being good. It was about being invisible. Ellipsis. And that's what makes these ancient laws so dangerous. Not just because they killed people, but because they trained generations to live in fear. Ellipsis. Today, we talk about rights, about freedom, about justice. And while modern life has its struggles, history reminds us of something important. There were times when being alive was a constant risk. Times when the law itself was the weapon. And if you were born then, you didn't fear criminals. You feared the rules. Ellipsis. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means history did its job. For more dark, forgotten truths about humanity's past, subscribe to Dark Origins, because the past isn't just history. It's a warning.